Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to your own channel Medu Study. I am your friend Ashutosh from IIM Indore, and friends, as you all know, Medu Study is your own channel initiative in which we discuss various management topics and friends in a very simple manner. Friends, today's video is from our operations management module, and in operations we already have 10 videos. Today's video is 11th video on production and productivity, and it is the third video in this particular playlist. If you have not seen previous two videos, you can go to the playlist and see video number 9 and 10. Production, productivity, both are very important. That is why we are discussing various numericals also for this particular topic. Now let us begin today. Friends, we are taking the same example. In previous one we have seen how do you manage through hiring and firing. In that, basically hiring and layoffs were discussed, that you wanted to manage a demand, but we did not want to keep any inventory, so number of workers were hired or fired accordingly. It is that same table. Let me revise it for you. It gives month wise what is the demand. For example, it says January demand is 4500, 5500, 7000 and so on, and these are the number of working days, right? Now also we can calculate that how many units per worker can produce in each month. This table is there. Beginning inventory was given 250 and net requirement was there, correct? Now let us continue on this same example. First of all, from that 6 months demand, what we do, we calculate an aggregate or average demand. Average demand is basically 6 demands divided by the period. So one worker can produce, if you have 6 workers, basically we are keeping number of workers fixed. That is why it is called as level workforce strategy. In January, one worker can produce 1063, correct? So accordingly you will see what is the production, 1063 into 6, which is 6380. Now 250 was the beginning inventory, 5000 was the demand, you have produced 6380. So what will happen, there will be some ending inventory of 2130. This ending inventory we call as surplus, because even after meeting the demands, this remains in the system. Now this surplus gets carried forward as the beginning inventory of the next month. Now in next month, which is February, 5500 is the demand, 2130 is already there, so you find out the net requirement, which is 3370. Then what can be the production? 6 workers, each worker with 918 can produce 5510. You find out the ending inventory. Similarly, what we will do, we will build the table for the entire 6 months. What we need to take care is demand minus beginning inventory is the net requirement. Workers into how much each worker can produce is basically the production, and then demand minus beginning inventory minus net requirement is your ending inventory, correct? Sorry, production minus demand minus beginning inventory is your ending inventory. So how do we get this 2130? It is 6380 that you produced, you minus the demand from it and you minus the beginning inventory. This comes as ending inventory. Ending inventory, if it is positive, it is called surplus. If it is negative, it is called shortage. So for first 3 months you can see there is surplus, because you are making some units extra, and that units basically even after meeting the demand remain. Now come to this April scenario. 1230 surplus unit were there, which came as the opening inventory. Demand is very high, from 7000, 5500, 4500 has go to 10,000. Net requirement is this minus this 8770. Now this 6 workers at the rate of 1015 into 6 can produce only 696090. So 2680 units is what comes at the shortage. So here shortage starts. It means market demand is there, but basis the number of workers you have, you cannot meet this demand, and that is why there is a scenario of shortage. Now there can be an alternative. Instead of hiring, firing and going for only level workforce, you go for a mixed strategy. That is the third one. Mixed strategy means combination of the available alternatives, different combination and permutation basically you are using. Now first combination or first option is hire a certain number of workers at the beginning of the planning horizon, maintain the rate and utilize inventory based alternatives to match supply and demand. So you are hiring at the beginning, maintaining a rate, and then you are meeting the demand. Another option can be you do not hire or lay off, but adjust the operation rate by varying the number of shifts. When lean time is there, maybe you ask people to work in single shift, otherwise in 2 shifts, right? All that option can be there, and you can even use inventory and subcontracting. Third method can be do not hire or lay off. Use subcontracting only. Whenever there is high demand, you subcontract it. Whenever there is low demand, then what you do? At that time you build up inventory. So you are not hiring, firing also, and you are not creating surplus and shortage also. These are three options. You can have other options as well. Now let us go to the AOP methods. AOP stands for alternate operation planning, and there are two methods, my dear friends. First is heuristics, second is optimal. In heuristics, first option is trial and error and second is search. In optimal, transportation and linear programming. Let us understand what are these. So first, like the name suggests, trial and error, you consider few options. Each option will have certain combination which we discussed. You take out the cost of different methods and then basis various algorithms you choose which one is the best. This is known as trial and error method. Second is, my dear friend, search method. So you go through a proper algorithm which has start and end. Whenever there is decision making, we use this particular trapezium symbol, otherwise for steps it is rectangle symbol, and this arrows denotes the flow. So first of all, what we are doing, we are identifying the parameters and setting up the criteria. Then you generate one solution and evaluate the cost. Now there can be two things. Is it the best solution when you have seen the cost? If it is yes, then use that solution if you are getting something best. In case it is no, then you see, have we met the stopping criteria? Some criteria you would have put na. It can be in form of number of unit, it can be number of sales, it can be profitability, whatever. If yes, then you stop. If no, then again you generate the option and evaluate the cost. And this mechanism is basically search method. Second, my dear friends, is known as optimal methods. And in optimal, first method is transportation method. Now, as the transportation method suggests, so basically you have various units which are your supply units. Let us take example of a company which operates pan India and it has 4 factories. And for simplicity, let us take east, west, north, south, all location factories are there. And then there are various demands coming. It can be from various states or various regions. Now, what can you do? See, always there is a combination that in transportation table, you should try to fulfill the requirement from the nearest possible so that logistics cost is minimum. Production cost is one thing. Now, for example, you produce something in Delhi and you are supplying it in Kerala, there will be a lot of logistics unit, and that is why this method become useful. So this supply method, basically transportation method, sees that the demand should be catered nearest possible supply. So your north unit should be having capacity to supply to all the north states. It should not happen that you are basically using your south factory for north demand, because that will be additional cost, and that is what this table is particularly useful for, which is known as transportation method. Next comes the second method, which is known as linear programming method. So in linear programming method, what do? There are various cost parameters and then there are various decision variables. So you evaluate that. There are 6 types of cost, my dear friends, which can be there. First cost is cost related to regular production. So if you are producing something, per unit cost. So in simple language, you can say it normal cost of running the operations, that is denoted by CR. Second is CO, that is cost per unit when you are doing it through overtime production, that is CO. Third is subcontracting. If you are going for some particular subcontracting, what kind of cost is occurring, that is known as CS. Fourth is cost related to hiring. Whenever you want to hire, there will be some cost, that is CH. CL will be cost of layoff and CI will be cost related to inventory. So regular production cost, OT cost, hiring cost, layoff cost, subcontracting cost and inventory cost. Now related to this 6 costs, there are various decision parameter for a particular time period T, right? So for regular we are denoting by R, so variable will be RT. Similarly, overtime will be OT, subcontracting will be ST, hiring, how many units you are getting, that is HT. If you are laying off, number of units will come down, that will be LT, and whatever inventory you are producing, that will be IT. So what is your objective function? Objective function basically is for whatever units you are making, multiply by the cost, correct? Cost into number of units, that will give you one parameter. You do it for all 6 of them and you keep on adding. Then what you do, you take a minimum of it. Wherever it comes as minimum, this function as minimum, that is the optimal thing. And this is basically known as linear programming method. This is all my dear friends from today's video, and with this we come an end to this unit. In next video we will start next topic, which is manufacturing economics. If you have any confusion in today's video of production and productivity or in previous videos, you can write in comment section or our mail ID. And if you are liking the content, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Take care.